Go ahead.
All right. So this is a little clip for Kirk Day from me, Brian Hilton, aka Big, from the Big and Small podcast, and Dougie Proctor, producer extraordinaire from the Big and Small podcast.
That's it.
And we're going to touch on the Vrabel hiring and the short off season so far for the New England Patriots, so that Kirk can evaluate. We would love to get in on a New England Patriots Digest type forum, and we think we're the right people for the job. So without further ado, Dougie, what do you think of Mike Vrabel being hired?
I think it's the best choice. I think around the league, everybody said that it was the best choice, and now just give this guy something to work with. Open up the purse strings a little bit. Robert, you really can't take it with you. So just let's put some money where your mouth is. Let's put some talent out on the field, and let's see what this guy can do. He wants to be here. That's what he says, and let's just do bring at least competitive football. I know that setting the bar pretty low, but let's bring competitive football back to New England, because right now we've won 8 games in 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some ridiculous stat that Brady has more wins when his 1 year with Tampa than the Patriots had since he left.
You've won, I think, 8 games in 2 years, and I don't think you've scored over 30 points in like 40 straight games.
Yeah. No, it's a bad state of affairs, and you watch, like the playoffs. You watch the Rams. Like the Rams have put together a heck of a team. Actually, even Washington, who was the peer of the Patriots a year ago, with a playoff team that's won a game in the playoffs. So I mean, it's not hard to do if you get the right pieces. So yeah, I agree with you. I think Vrabel was obviously the right choice right now because they couldn't afford to bring in a Ben Johnson, who could be the best thing since sliced bread. But he is improving. He's never been a head coach before, never done it, and they could not have that experiment run again. It just wouldn't be the risk to take right now. But one of the things that people are like screaming about now is we got to fire Elliott Wolf. Elliott Wolf's got to go. And my response is, hold your horses a little bit there, because this guy had a draft last year where we know he had a good pick with Drake May. I mean, that obviously that was the obvious pick, but
that's the thing too. I hate to interject, and it's like I hate that they say, "Oh, you got May at 3," but it's like, but they don't give credit for it. Oh, right. A monkey could have made that pick. Okay, well, he still did it. If they didn't make the pick, you're right, and you'll be bitching about that. So, take your quarterback and let's move on.
Yeah, and he could have traded the pick. Or remember last year at this time, JJ McCarthy was like the new thing. How many people were saying they should draft JJ McCarthy at number 3? That was the flavor of the week back then. But they stuck with it. They went with May, and it looks like they made a good choice. They also made a good choice in the 6th round with Joe.
Which
Milton.
I mean, we don't know. McCarthy just happened to get hurt and not be able to play. I mean, he might come back next year and light it up. Who knows?
Well, I think the QB class last year was the best we've seen in a long time. But I think they had a good pick with Joe Milton. Caden Wallace was hurt for most of the year, and he was a stud right tackle for Penn State. So he's going to be a good professional lineman. He is. But the other thing is that they don't talk about is, Mayo at the top was the same guy that went to the back of the plane and played cards after they got trounced by Arizona after having a bye week. They looked like they weren't prepared. He decided the best move is to go play cards with the guys at the back of the plane. Well, that permeates through his staff. You know what I mean? So how good was that staff? So you got position coaches that obviously aren't being held to a standard that we're used to seeing around here. So maybe these picks weren't that bad. And I think you said it before, like, would Ladd McConkey be Ladd McConkey if he was playing for the Patriots this year? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think he would have had the year that he's having right now.
I mean, so, not to say Justin Herbert's some earth-shattering QB, but I mean, like what if you gave I don't know. What if you gave Josh Allen Ladd McConkey?
It'd be unbelievable. I think.
So
So anyway, those are the things. And now it's like, okay, Vrabel's made it clear that he's going to slow roll the whole coaching staff. We're going to do the right thing. We're going to make the right decisions. Blah blah blah. They got the
which
draft
to an extent, I mean, you got a draft in what, 3 months?
Right. Exactly. I was going to say that.
So then who's gonna be the ones putting the names upon the boards who are, number one targets?
Well, honestly,
because you are going to have people in that draft room. So I mean, it's like you're just bringing guys in off the street 2 weeks beforehand, like, hey, what do you think?
Well, they're bringing in obviously their scouting staff and all that, and I would think before the draft begins, obviously they have their draft board. So wherever they're picking, they're going to have two things: needs, and they're going to have best available, and they're going to make a decision from there. Do we go after a need-based thing at this pick, or do we go after who's the best guy out there right now? And I'm not talking about the fourth pick. I'm talking about the whole draft. They're gonna evaluate where they're hurting. They're gonna look at the free agent market, see who's available, who they likely might be able to sign, and what draft picks would fit their needs. But then again, if you come up on your draft pick and there's an outstanding defensive end, but you've already picked Carter from Penn State at number 4, you say, no, I don't want to go after that guy. Or you say, you know what? We can use some depth. So those are the decisions that I believe are going to go down to Vrabel. That's my thought.
Yeah, and I think you pick up the phone every single time it rings and hear every single person out.
Yeah.
I don't think I would say May's off the table, but I don't think, not that anybody on the Patriots roster is really desirable to other teams, but I don't think May's the only person I would consider untouchable.
Ramondre, I would use as a chip because I think you can, pick up where you left off in the running back area through the draft. I really do. You could get
go get Scatterboo
in the 4th round, and he could be as good as Ramondre.
I don't know if I mean that last performance. I think he really. Yeah. I think between that last performance and considering what he might be able to do at the combine, he might be able to skyrocket his draft capital.
Right. We'll see, Dougie. How much time we got right now?
I don't have like a ticker or anything on here, but I would presume we're probably right around there. And like I mentioned to you before, this is the we happen to live in an area of the country where 98.5 The Sports Hub, the afternoon show, I'm pretty sure it's a top 3 rated sports talk radio show in the country, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
But it's just, this is the tough part talking football, where it's very difficult because it's how much stuff can you actually talk about? You're going to talk about little like player and personnel and coaching changes. Okay. And now you're going to talk about the draft, and then you're going to talk about the draft 2 months after the draft. Then it's just, this is the tough part. So we have a long, 8 months?
Yeah.
Until it picks back up again.
Yeah, it'll be ad nauseum and whatever, but it's so funny how wrong people are after the fact. But
true.
Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. Kirk, this is what you can get if you go with myself and Dougie. We have Small as well. You saw the 3-person clip yesterday, so looking forward to hearing from you. And if you decide you don't want to work with us, that's fine. Best of luck to you. But I think we got something pretty good here.